Corps, Malacanang Press Corps, of course, please send in your questions by text or any other means. Let me begin with the good news. Good news for Davao Region. The Davao Region ranked as the second fastest growing economy region-wise in the country as it grew by 10.9% in 2017, backed by positive growth by the industry sector and by agriculture, hunting, forestry, and fishing sector. In particular, industry grew by 19.1% in 2017, led by expansion of construction at 38.2% and manufacturing 11.4% subsectors. This is followed by agriculture, hunting, forestry, and fishing with its 1.7% growth, brought by the 1.9% percentage recovery of agriculture and forestry subsectors. The government is committed to accelerate the growth of the country within the 7 to 8% range this year. We are confident that this target can be achieved through the full implementation of the Build, Build, Build program. Another good news, we are pleased to announce that the Philippines continues to be the growth leader in Asia according to ASEAN Plus 3 Macroeconomic Research Office, a regional think tank and trusted policy advisor to the ASEAN Plus 3 region. The AMRO reported that the Philippine economy remains robust and is expected to grow by 6.8% in 2018 and 6.9% in 2019. This is because of the buoyancy on the country's exports and improvement on the budget execution. The implementation of the Build, 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 the government's biggest infrastructure program, is also expected to boost growth momentum. And third good news, we welcome the latest social weather station report showing that 1 out of 3 or 30% of Filipino families escape poverty. The Duterte administration, as we all know, has espoused inclusive, sustainable, and resilient growth. We have broadened access to free education, medicine, and healthcare and other basic services to ensure that our people directly benefit from the country's economic gains while reducing the vulnerability of families through our conditional cash transfer programs and employment facilitation and micro-enterprise projects. Questions? Panacanang Press Corps first, alternating with Malacanang Press Corps. Who is our MC to ask the questions from Malacanang? Sorry nag-start na ako without your intro.
Good morning, Secretary. I'm Frances May Macapagat from the Philippine Information Agency. Ms. Ruth here will read the questions from the Malacanang Press.
Okay, from Ms. Pia Ranada, Secretary, what are the diplomatic means the Philippines intends to pursue to deal with the new missile deployments in the Sprat list? And what will be the end goal of these means? Is the Philippines going to file a diplomatic protest?
It includes everything that's provided for in the UN Charter. That includes resort to diplomacy, resort to diplomatic protests if the DFA deems it fit, but it resorts to all forms of peaceful resolution of disputes, and of course, we capitalize on the fact that we have very good relationship with China.
Okay. Other
From
questions?
Local media, yes, please.
Yes, Miss.
Follow sa question ni Pia. May recent na insights ba si President sa inyo kaugnay nga po doon sa missile system na yun? After sabihin ng DFA, they're still verifying it. May additional comments ba yung President about it?
Kagabi po, nagsalita naman ng Presidente, no? Ang sabi niya, talagang sana po may nagawa yung nakalipas sa administrasyon dyan dahil lang ang mga artificial na isla naman yan ay hinukay, ginawa at binuo nung panahon pa ng nakalipas sa administrasyon, pero dinatna na po yan ng ating administrasyon. Hindi naman po tayo talagang nanunuro lamang, pero ang katunayan po, we've had to live with reality na narariyan na yan ang pumasok ang administrasyon nito. At ang tingin nga natin, dahil sa matinding pagkakaibigan ng mga bansang Pilipinas at China, wala namang banta ang mga pangyayari dito sa mga artificial na isla nito sa ating bayan. Dahil nga ang magkakaibigan naman, hindi gumagamit ng dahas laban sa isa't isa.
Tapos, sir, nabanggit po ni President bakit hindi daw po, kumbaga, pinuntahan nung time ng Administrasyong Aquino after nung ruling. Pero yung ruling daw po ata was released nung second week nung administration ni President Duterte.
Correct po. Oh. Ano po ang tanong?
Kasi parang sinasabi niya bakit hindi raw yung Administrasyong Aquino yung nagpunta ron para manita to enforce yung ruling.
Hindi po, ang sinasabi lang ni Presidente, talagang yung buong proseso po ng pagre-reclaim at pagtatapos ng islang yon, nagawa po yun sa administrasyon ng Presidente Aquino.
Before we move to Alan of Inquirer, we go back to Ruth for another question from Malacanang Press.
Okay. Firstly, Attorney Roque, sir, may we know the latest pronouncement of the President on the 60 million deal with DOT and PTV? Kasi sabi ni Sap Bongo, yung investigation, andun na yung mga documents andun na sa table ni Executive Secretary Vidaldea.
That's still the latest. When I had my last press briefing last Thursday in Malacanang, I could only say that it was being investigated by the Office of the President. Well, now, kung gusto nyo mas maliwanag na explanasyon, nasa lamesa na po ni Executive Secretary ang lahat ng mga datos at pinag-aaralan po yan ni Executive Secretary.
Sir, a follow-up lang from Ms. Leila of Inquirer, sir. Reports say Roberto Teo is still with TIEZA as private sector representative. Does the place of Halas consider this as a conflict of interest?
Hindi po ako sigurado kung siya'y talagang nasa TIEZA pa, no? Pero aalamin ko po yan. At sa Lunes po, sa regular press briefing ko, ay sasagutin ko po yan. Aalamin ko po sa Lunes, sasagutin ko yan. Pero hindi ko po alam kung talagang nasa TIEZA pa ang Mr. po ni Secretary Teo.
Thanks, sir.
Mr. Alan Nadal.
Hello. Good morning, Sec. Follow-up ko lang ulit doon sa paglalagay ng China ng missile. Are we not treating it as a threat sa atin or any other claimant countries?
As I've said yesterday in my press release, we view this matter with concern. It is because we know that any form of militarization, but we are not concluding that actually this is because we're still verifying. Let me begin by saying we are still verifying. Everything that we have read on the papers is based on a U.S. media report, which really we should not completely rely on. Okay, so we are first verifying if it is true, and we have not had any verification. Number two, if it is verified, of course, we view it with much concern because any form of militarization of really the West Philippine Sea is worrisome given that it is one of the busiest sea lanes in the world. Okay, so that is our concern. It is a concern common to the international community.
So has there been any effort to summon the Chinese ambassador to the Philippines?
Hindi pa po naman. Dahil lang sabi ko nga po, in-explore naman lahat ng diplomatic possibilities.
Punta naman tayo sa Kuwait, sir. Ano na po yung pinaka-latest natin na doon sa Kuwait controversy po na na-involve yung ating embassy?
Ang masasabi ko lang po ay marami pong usaping nangyayari ngayon, pero maraming mga bagay po na hindi naman po pwedeng isa-publiko sa ngayon dahil nakasalalay po ang safety ng napakarami nating mga mamamayan. So, konting pasensya lang po.
Opo, last question. Yung MOU natin, sir, ano sa palagay ninyo tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ba ito?
Ay, habang may buhay, may pag-asa.
Next to ask question is Ms. Ayan Melihor of PNA.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. On the poverty incidents, it has lowered.
Bumaba po.
Yes, and then what is the Duterte administration is doing to further bring down the poverty incidents, and ano po yung mga programa ngayon na pinupush ng Duterte administration to really bring down the poverty incidents, especially in the countryside?
Naku, napakadami po niyan. Nandiyan nga po yung ating build na talagang meron pong katumbas yung build. Ang tawag naman, jobs. No? Dahil siyempre, habang maraming proyekto, maraming hanap buhay na magagawa yan. No? Pangalawa po, nandyan din yung patuloy na implementasyon ng 4Ps, no? At meron pa nga tayong additional ngayon na binibigay sa mga 4Ps beneficiaries dahil nga doon sa train para maibsan yung epekto ng train, no? At binibigay na po yan ng ating DSWD ngayon, 200 pesos kada pamilya na miyembro po ng ating 4Ps.
Sir, another question. There's a report that the land prices in Marawi are increasing. Would this not hamper the government project to rehabilitate Marawi?
Siyempre po, naging mas mahal yung halaga ng rehabilitate ng Marawi kasi yung mga pagbili po ng lupa hindi lang para sa mga pabahay kundi dun sa iba pang mga developments naging mas mahal ngayon sa Marawi, no. Pero yan naman po ina-address ng ating gobyerno, no. At ang mahalaga naman po ay patuloy na umuusad yung rehabilitation ng Marawi at kung magkano man ang cost to rehabilitate ng Marawi, kakayanin po natin yan dahil ang pangako ng Pangulo pababangunin po niya ang Marawi.
Okay, last question from
Okay.
Ms. Ayan.
Wala po bang policy ng Presidente just to prevent land speculation?
Well, alam niyo po, meron naman tayong batas, no? Pwede natin na-exercise ang power of eminent domain. And the Supreme Court naman po kinilala na ang housing is properly within the coverage of eminent domain, no? Pero according to the Villar Law din po, kinakailangan ang cost of expropriation will be fair market value, no? So there will have to be determination of what the fair market value would be in Marawi. Dahil yan po nasa batas.
Next to ask the question is Ms. Vina Araneta from ABS.
Hello, sir. Sir, you already answered earlier na you will check kung nasa Tiaza pa si Mr. Bob Teo. Pero last May to po, during the presser of Secretary Wanda, she said na nasa Tiaza pa si Sir Bob. Do you think, sir, na for delicadezza's sake, he should resign or what do you think po about that? Kasi yun po yung mga sinasabi ngayon kay Secretary Teo, may conflict of interest daw po.
Delicadeza is addressed to the public officer concerned, so
Yes.
it's not for me to answer that, no. I do not know if he is in Tiesa, and I do not know kasi may mga reports then that he was there during the time of previous administrations,
He
no.
was appointed daw
Oo,
po.
so in fairness, he must have been appointed not by President Duterte, no. So kaya nga po hindi ako makakomento kasi hindi ko alam ang facts. And if we are talking about delicadeza, it's not for me to answer that question. It's for Secretary Teo to answer that.
Sir, may timeline po ba, follow up lang po, may timeline po ba dun sa investigation ng Malacanang with regard to the 60 million peso TV ads?
Wala naman pong timeline yan, pero marami naman pong presidents na naimbestigahan po ng Office of the President at umaksyon naman ng mabilis ang ating presidente.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Follow-up lang. Will the palace just examine documents or will the President ask DOT Teo to explain?
Hindi ko po alam kung anong gagawin ni Executive Secretary, but that's up to the Executive Secretary who's conducting the investigation.
So wala namang plano sa President to talk to Secretary Teo or...
Ang investigation po is being conducted by the Executive Secretary, so the Executive Secretary will probably submit his recommendations to the President.
Walang timeline, sir?
Wala namang timeline, pero mabilis naman gumalaw ang mga tao sa Malacanang. I can assure you that. Pakita nyo naman, mabilis naman talaga gumalaw.
Do we have other questions?
Sir, another question from Panacan Press Corps pa rin.
Panacanang o Malacanang?
Panacan. About ILO 151, last year na-promise si Secretary Bello na President Duterte will sign it.
What is ILO 151? I'm sorry po, hindi ko memorize lahat yung mga ILO na yan.
International Labor Organization.
What is that? Yes, but what is 151? Did we not just do that with Executive Order 51? I am convinced that with Executive Order 51, the President has done all that he could do within his power to end illegal contractualization, to end Cabo, to end 555. Hanggang doon na lang po ang magagawa talaga ng Presidente dahil wala naman po siyang legislative powers. Executive powers lang po talaga siya. Kinakailangan po talaga ng pulisiya galing sa Kongreso.
Ms. Rose Bernales, you have a question? Okay, Alan.
Follow-up lang ulit, sir. With all these controversies involving some secretaries, is the President still trusting of them?
Well, I think the President, unless he fires a secretary, has trust and confidence in them. But I think, when there are controversies, he will investigate and he will make decisions, painful as they may be. But I think he already has a track record.
Yes, sir.
I think the people can trust the President that he will do the right thing.
Yes, kasi the latest controversy is being questioned by some sectors, saying na while the President was quick to fire some officials in the past, ngayon medyo hindi daw yata ganun.
Alan, wala pang isang linggo lumabas itong impormasyon nito. I don't think that's fair. Araw pa lang ang binibilang natin ang lumabas yung COA report. Di ba po? Hindi naman ito taon na.
Yes,
Araw pa lang, kailan ba lumabas ito? Parang naitanong sa akin ito ata Thursday. Lumabas ata ito Wednesday. Oh, hindi naman ata fair yun na matagal na hindi mabilis.
Medyo matagal sa tingin ng iba, sir.
Ay, wala pa pong isang linggo. Huwag naman, Alan.
Sir, yung balikan ko lang yung EO, sir, 51, since private companies naman daw yun. How about in the government?
In the government?
Yes, sir.
Alam mo, ang gobyerno po kasi, we're governed by different sets of laws, no? So, syempre po, meron ding gagawin ng presidente. Dapat siya ng gobyerno. Ang problema po kasi, kinakailangan may mga plantilla positions para mawala ang contractualization. At para magkaroon tayo ng mga bagong plantilla positions, dapat yan, ibigay din ng Kongreso sa pantaunang budget. So again, it lies with Congress. Nung nasa Kongreso pa po ako, sinabi ko, kinakailangan ng Department of Public Works ng parang 30,000 more posts, no? Pero of course, DBM could not give them 30,000 more plantilla posts, no? So konti lang yung naibigay, no? Hindi ko maalala ngayon kung ilan yung bagong post na naibigay sa 2018 budget. Pero ganun po naman yung dilema pagdating sa gobyerno, no? Gustuhin man natin kinakailangan ma-provide yang mga plantilla post na yan sa pamamagitan ng provision sa National Appropriation Law. So actually po, mas complicated pagdating sa gobyerno kasi usaping kinakailangan talagang bumuo ng batas at usaping pera. Saan kukunin yung pera para ma-support yung mga actual plantilla positions para hindi na maging contractual yung mga taong gobyerno.
Thank you. Ms. Ayan Melihor, you have a question?
Sir, dun sa peace talks with NDFP, clarification lang dun sa 60-day na sinasabi po ni President Duterte. When would that start?
Mukhang wala pa pong acceptance naman na tuloy na ang NDFP talks, no? So kinakailangan po muna mag-agree yung parehong partido sa usapin na simula na yung usapin. Wala pa atang ganung kasunduan, pero I understand miski hindi pa pumapatak yung 60 days, may mga usaping tahimik na nangyayari naman.
May ano po ba, sir, follow up dun sa mga call ni Presidente from the government or from NDFP that they are willing but they're still discussing among them members ng NDFP panel to push this one.
Hindi ko po alam kung ano talagang kondisyones at ano yung nangyayari sa panig ng NDF. Siguro po silang tanungin natin. Ang alam ko lang po, busy si Secretary Bello dahil din sa Kuwait. And because he's head of the Philippine panel, he's also preoccupied.
Okay. Ms. Ruth.
Si question pa rin from Rose Novenario.
Hi, Rose.
Hinimok ni Duterte yung publiko na tangkilikin ng PTV ngayong nabulgar na malaking pondo nito napunta sa pribadong kumpanya. Ano ang gagawin niya?
Ano? Anong tanong? Hindi ko maintindihan.
Yung pondo daw, oo.
Pero what's the question po? Rose, hindi ko maintindihan ang question.
Test case ang PTV DOT sa documented alleged plunder sa ilalim ng Duterte administration.
Anong tanong? Hindi ko maintindihan.
Yung sabi ni Rose na hinimok ni Duterte yung publiko na tangkilikin yung PTV. So ngayon na nabulga na yung malaking pondo nito napunta sa private company lang, yung bitag nga ng mga tulfo.
Pero what's the question? Hindi ko maintindihan, Rose, kung anong
gagawin ni
question.
President dito, sir?
Iniimbestigahan po itong bagay na ito, Rose. And as you know, investigations will eventually lead to decision. Yun po. Okay?
So ano yung latest kay Secretary Cayetano, sir, na may mga panawagan ngayon for his resignation?
Well, ang sinabi ko lang po, I'm not in a position to comment on the cause for him to resign because that's addressed to him. But the President continues to have full trust and confidence on Secretary Cayetano.
May mga tanong pa po?
Okay?
Kung wala
Thank
na,
you very much, Panacan, and thank you very much, Malacanang Press Corps. Magandang umaga po dito sa Davao at sa buong Pilipinas.
thank you, Secretary.
Nako, Christine Mendez.